Hey everybody, BDF 44, chewing on some trail mix, so forgive me. I'm not gonna stop eating because I'm recording. I never do. But yeah, it's time. It's time to talk about that red table talk with Will and Jada Smiths. It's going down. So essentially, I don't know if I uploaded the video or not. I honestly do not know. But I made a video on my response to August Alsina and what I thought about what he was doing. Essentially, what I was feeling was I watched his interview and I enjoyed it. I didn't think that Will and Jada were the focal point, and I felt like he did a good job of displaying good energy and being uplifting and being inspiring and expressing him overcoming a very, very, very serious illness. That was what it was about, and of course, the Will and Jada thing was just one of many questions that Angela Yee, the interviewer, who did a very good job, mentioned. But it was the focal point that everyone ran with once that interview was released. So a lot has happened since then. August Alsina has, of course, in that interview made his point, and now Will and Jada are going to make theirs. And in watching it yesterday, the internet just ran away with all of the quotables from that situation. It was only 15 minutes long, but it felt like it was about an hour worth of information to discuss. But the word entanglement is what's running around right now, and I say this with a smile on my face because that's more or less a way of saying she had a fling. And Jada admitted that was what took place, and it's one of those situations where it's like, we can laugh, but this is really their pain. Like, if you look at Will Smith's face, he was so hurt. And it's one of those situations where this happened several years ago, so the wound has kind of been worked on. They've been working on their marriage, they've been working on healing, and it's like somebody walks up to him and just rips the scab off the wound, and brings a knife to it, and then slashes it up again. Like, that's what I gathered from Will Smith. Like, he's been going through this, and they mentioned how they've been trying to heal and therapy and communication and all the different ways you can try to heal from something like this, and they're sticking with one another, and for this to happen, this is very unfortunate for their marriage, in my opinion. And I would not be surprised if they have rocky days ahead, just judging by the fact that here we have Will Smith, like one of the biggest stars in the world, having this more or less pristine image. Family man, super charismatic. We all grew up on his TV shows. If you're over 30 years old, you remember everything that he's done, more or less, in his career. And the one thing that stands out is the fact that he's rarely mentioned in any substantial mess. Granted, the rumors are out there. Rumors have been floating around about Will and Jada and how they get down for years around Hollywood, but that isn't national news. If you heard that stuff, you take it with a grain of salt. We understand that Will Smith may have had some transgressions that he also alluded to at the end of the interview in a lighthearted kind of way. So I don't think anybody's running from the fact that these aren't perfect people, or they wouldn't have a perfect marriage by any stretch of the imagination. But we know this to be one of the most, powerful black couples in Hollywood, one of the most powerful couples, period. Like Will and Jada, their relationship goes for a lot of people. And this just goes to show you that they're human too. I think is what I'm trying to come back around to saying is that Will has gone his whole career, 25 plus years, without having to discuss his personal life with the world. And for this to be something that he's healing from, for this to have been something that they thought was going to break them, or whatever caused them to break up, they were able to overcome. And August was more or less a means of feeling good for Jada Pinkett while they were broken up, is what they admitted to. And, Will made it very clear that August misspoke when he said that he had a conversation and was allowed to speak with Jada. Jada made it clear that nobody's allowed to do anything if she doesn't say so. So that was cleared up, and I remember hearing someone say it. I don't remember who it was, but it stands true. When someone unloads a burden, you're not taking that burden off of yourself and placing it into the world so that no one could ever be bogged down with it. When you release a secret on somebody or you break an arrangement, a personal arrangement, you're taking the burden off of yourself, whatever pain that you harbored from how that situation transpired, and you're placing it on the other party. Now you feel better because you've released your pain, but now they have to deal with their concerns and their pain from you doing so and their information being out into the public, especially if they're superstars like Will and Jada, especially if they have children who are grown and haven't established or establishing their own character. And these are their parents. Like, they don't want us in their business. They made that very clear, and I could just see how much anguish Will was in, sitting there at that table discussing his personal life. I know that his pain was obviously tied up in having to relive what went down 4 years ago. But I didn't think that the pain in his eyes was solely about that, if I was reading into what I was seeing. I felt like he was sad because he'd been able to avoid this for 30 years. And now he has to sit up here as a 50-year-old man with grown kids and stand by a wife who made this decision on her own, independent of his wishes, and probably against his suggestions, if I'm just to guess. He probably told her that August would do this because, to be honest with you, they were close to August. I could tell you from watching an hour interview that August would do this. So I know that Will told Jada, hey, you get involved with this kid, there's a chance that he's going to air us out if it don't go right. I know he told her. I'm sure he wasn't the only one that told her. But, when you're looking to do things your own way and you're trying to heal and you're looking to feel good, as she described it, you put yourself in positions to make mistakes. And sometimes the side person just don't stay quiet. Sometimes the rebound person falls in love. And that's what happened here. And August is a young guy, and he felt betrayed, so he has an album coming out, and he doesn't see a reason not to use this as a means of rolling that out. I think it's nasty. I think it's messy. I don't like it, but that's what he's doing. So, watching the interview was really interesting when they were talking about, what Jada did. Will was trying to get her to elaborate on what she was saying, and she had chosen her words carefully so that she could paint herself out to be the way that she wants to continue to be seen. She has an image of her own, and especially with this Red Table Talk, she has to be, what's the word? She has to have a certain level of dignity within her image, and talking about this kind of stuff just insinuates, no matter what words you use, something that probably doesn't bode well with her image, to say the least. So that was kind of tough. But I'll tell you this. If I'm reading energy, I haven't heard anybody have this take. It seemed to me that they were both throwing jabs at one another while they were sitting there. Not really like arguing for us to understand, but arguing for them to understand. Certain words that they use, certain way their body language would display after they'd say certain things. I was thinking, you know what? They are not right now on the same page. And how could they be? Jada's dirty laundry is rising to the surface, and now they have to deal with it. And Will Smith, like I said, I know he's had his transgressions, but he's been able to have those transgressions and they not have to be addressed in public. And I just get the feeling that that's the worst of this for him, even more so than his wife deciding to make this decision, is the fact that he just has to address it. And if you know how hard somebody like Will Smith has been working on his image and working to keep his life private, you can imagine how heartbreaking and how difficult that is for him. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It just felt like they were throwing jabs at one another. and they were alluding to certain things that maybe on the surface you wouldn't pay attention to. But you pick up on them if you know the story of everything that's going on. So I enjoyed watching that, man. That was fun. Obviously not for them, but for us, it's been extremely entertaining. It's been a breath of fresh air to talk about something that's not as heavy, but is still very juicy and full of tea for people to sip. So, yeah, man, that's what I got. I don't really have much else to say about the situation. I wish their family well. I wish August well. I wish August would mature a little bit and stop thinking it's his responsibility to relieve his own soul of whatever wrongdoings that he's done. No, son, as I've said in my other video, your responsibility is to never find yourself in those situations so that you never have that burden. You ain't doing yourself no favors by going out here making yourself look like messy Betsy, homie. Sorry. Nah, that ain't it. There's a lot of us looking at you sideways right now because you're looking kind of feminine, to be dead ass honest with you. I'm just being honest. You know, and that's full respect for my LGBT community. This has nothing to do with y'all in regards to what I'm saying. He acting feminine in a sense that isn't respectful, that isn't productive, that is not becoming at all. He's just messy, you know. And you know it's for the rollout of the album, which does have some really good tracks on it if you like R&B. It's not a bad album at all. But it's like, if, you know, having this in your back pocket as a rollout is just nasty. It speaks to a bad way, you know. I don't know. That's all I got, man. Try to make sure that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. Hope everybody's having a good day. Thanks for watching. BDF.